Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Rawitz. I am the co-founder of Digital Infrastructure, Inc., which is one of the companies that is building DIMO. Some of you may already know this. Cars generate a huge amount of data. It's about 25 terabytes today, per day. Some estimates go higher than that. One thing we know for sure is that electric and autonomous vehicles are going to significantly increase the rate at which that data is produced. Industry experts, and certainly our view, all agree that data is extremely valuable. McKinsey did a study, they pegged $80 billion on the value of it, but we actually think it's significantly higher. There's huge industries from car sales to insurance to accessories and fuel that are totally inefficient and use little to no vehicle data today. Why is that? Well, I'm a crypto person. I see a lot of fragmentation. I've seen a lot of fragmentation in the financial industry, and actually that fragmentation exists in the automotive and the mobility world as well. All across the industry, there's walled gardens and silos that prevent data from moving from place to place. But aside from the macro picture, there's actually a personal level of this as well, and that is that your car has a story to tell. Many people have a really emotional connection to their car, whether they lease it or buy it. They've taken trips with it. Some people work in their car. And part of that story is actually going through an app that today, most people really don't like. Who has an emotional or really likes their vehicle app? One person, Tesla owner? Yeah, Tesla owners are the exception, basically. Everyone else is still playing catch up. So we are onboarding people to a new and better connected vehicle experience. If you already have a car app today, like a Tesla, you can actually sign up and connect to DIMO and get started right now. And if you don't have a natively connected car, you can buy the first DIMO-compatible hardware device. It's actually sold out at the moment, and connect your car to DIMO. Getting started is really simple. You create an account, link your wallet, connect your car via the hardware or the software. We've built some privacy features that prevent data collection from places like around your home. In this data asset, we provide some insights on it, but it actually grows over time. And you'll be able to use that data in applications that are developed on DIMO that we'll talk about in a minute. Right now, we are rewarding people for taking that action with some rewards points, and that will soon be in the DIMO token. So far, we have about 25,000 vehicles added to DIMO, 2,000 of which are streaming real-time data to DIMO today. We've sold 4,500 devices. We have a little bit of ways to go to close the gap and get more cars connected. We have about 7,000 community members who are actually pitching in and supporting DIMO. On the right, you can see a map of some of the data hotspots. We're getting data from all 50 states, Canada, about 25 countries in Europe. That's where connected cars are today. And on the right, you can actually see the amount of data being streamed to DIMO going up day over day. And like many Web3 projects, we actually think of building DIMO like building a city. So we're focused on building some of the core infrastructure for DIMO, and others are showing up to develop hardware, develop applications, and enrich the vehicle ownership experience. As part of that core infrastructure, we really think of it as laying some of the public utilities for building better connected vehicle experiences. So one thing we're doing is we're making sure any vehicle can connect to DIMO. It's not just going to be the Tesla owners who love their vehicle app. It's going to be everyone who has a great vehicle app experience. We're also building a bunch of primitives like vehicle identity, data storage, and a whole bunch of other smart contracts that allow developers to customize an experience on top of DIMO. And our goal is really to add value at any moment in the life cycle of your vehicle. We do that by actually collecting events and data from the moment the vehicle is purchased, recall data, maintenance information, trips, and we actually store all of that data on a bare asset that represents ownership of the vehicle. You can actually keep that data, and you can actually use it in the future in applications that we're working with teams to develop right now. So you'll be able to take that data that you've collected about your car and maybe get a better quote on insurance with that performance data. In the future, you might actually be able to sell your car with that data that proves it has a clean bill of health, it's been kept in good condition, and you can get a better price on your car. We're also working on car sharing and key sharing applications that will allow people to build all kinds of applications on DIMO. You might just be interested in monetizing your data. There's a huge market for vehicle data out there as well, and we've spoken with companies that are interested in studying the circular economy around battery recycling, interested in monetizing video data, or developing credit programs for electric vehicles. So we're building this network. We really see ourselves as building the open developer platform for vehicles. And as we add more users and connect more cars, we'll see more developers building applications on top of DIMO. If you think this is interesting, you can actually scan that QR code and connect your car today, download the DIMO mobile app, or we can talk about developing an application on DIMO. Thanks.
Thank you. This is great. Thank you so much. Do you own the data? Because you spoke about other apps building on top of DIMO data, and then you spoke about users being able to monetize their data.
Yeah.
So how are you thinking about data access for building that ecosystem?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're very much of the idea that users own that data and have control of it. Today, we're in the process of progressively decentralizing. So cars generate so much data that actually a lot of the decentralized data storage technology that's out there is not really quite ready to actually deal with the amount of data that it generates. But in our view, users would collect their own vehicle data. That's actually part of the reason for selling the hardware as well, is that it's not going to their car maker. And then they can opt in to sharing specific parts of the data. So different applications built on DIMO might need access to different parts of the data. A battery health application will need the battery data. A car sharing application might need access to your insurance records to make sure that you're actually able to support that kind of thing.
Got it. So the user would have
User
to
will
opt
own
in.
the data. Yep, and then opt in to sharing certain
Right.
parts of it.
Okay, got it. One more question from me. How are you thinking about go-to-market? Because you have hardware, software, a lot of different components.
Yeah, we are thinking about it sort of in a few ways, somewhat staged. So we're very much starting in the crypto community. We've done very little marketing so far. Word of mouth has been pretty powerful. You just learned about DY. Many of those communities have actually come into the DIMO area as well. But we're working on partnerships with companies that are already in the automotive space that can bring on users, whether it's through maintenance or services. And also, we're just kind of decentralizing as quickly as we can and bringing teams into that DIMO city that you saw. Other people that can be channels or affiliates or part of the DIMO story.
And is the hardware piece, is that direct to consumer, they would buy it from you?
For now, one of the things that was done really well by Helium actually was they open sourced their hardware spec and allowed others to create Helium compatible devices. So even though we made the first generation device, we're already talking with 3-4 other hardware manufacturers that are going to make DIMO compatible devices soon.
Amazing, thank you. Any questions from the audience?
What is the traction like? I know you showed some numbers there, but in terms of revenue, and number two, why blockchain? Again, generally you could do it without blockchain.
Yeah.
Same thing, and it's going to be. What is the reason why you're going blockchain on that aspect?
Yeah. So as far as revenue goes, we sold about $1.5 million of the hardware. That's one form of revenue. The form of revenue that we're going to care a lot more about are actually transactions that users make once with their vehicle data. We are working with the first 20 or so applications to be built on DIMO, and we expect to have some transactions starting to happen this year. So far revenue is only through the vehicle or the hardware sales. Why blockchain? There's a couple of reasons. You've heard a lot about sort of the blockchain incentive. It's a great way to bootstrap users, certainly an angle for us there. We also believe very firmly that one of the innovations in this space has been kind of the open and the permissionless nature of developing on blockchain technologies. There have been attempts to do this in a much more enterprise sort of centralized way that have never really taken off because they've been permissioned or because they haven't been quite as open. And also we do believe in this future where the users and the community members actually do own part of the network and can guide its direction. So it checks a bunch of boxes for us in terms of like having a way to bootstrap users, making it a more open and accessible platform, and then also giving the community, both drivers and application developers, a say in the future of the ecosystem.
Another question?
How do you see the relationship with the OEMs evolving?
Yeah, we think that obviously the OEMs are quite a bit far behind. Tesla's in a category of their own. They do some things quite differently. We believe that OEMs are going to become under pressure to open up their platforms more. Every single OEM is trying to replicate their own walled garden of apps and services. And the way to look at that is, imagine if you could only use the apps that came on your iPhone with your iPhone. There was no third-party app ecosystem. Wouldn't be a very exciting piece of technology. As cars open up more, users will actually have a better experience because they could, say, use a third-party car sharing or key sharing application built on their vehicle. So our strategy around OEMs is to actually bring their users to us first, and then over time they'll have pressure to open up their ecosystems.
Are you fundraising?
We're not, no. We've raised, between the hardware sales and our seed rounds, raised over $10 million. So we're happily building away.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.